Welcome back. Thanks a lot for staying with us. We're getting some breaking developments now coming in. This is a word that's coming in from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. They in fact have now come out in the support of actor Vishal, who remember had raised the issue of corruption in the censor board. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has called this entire episode and incident extremely unfortunate, so they have sided with him. They've also gone on to say a senior officer from the ministry has been deputed to Mumbai to conduct an inquiry today itself. Our viewers would remember actor Vishal had said that there is massive corruption as far as the CBFC is concerned. He had said that he had to pay upwards of 6 crores to a particular officer to get his film released in Hindi. Here's a reaction that's coming in from the actor himself.
Yes, yesterday I tweeted about the Central Bureau of Film Certification, CBFC Mumbai office, where I had to pay a sum of 6.5 lakhs unofficially to get my film certification done for the Hindi version of Mark Antony, which is released yesterday, September 28th, in North India. We have already released the film in all South languages on September 15th. So it was actually due to technical issues we applied a little bit late, but we were totally thrown aback.
Response that's coming in from the actor himself. Let's also now bring in our colleague and senior editor Pallavi, who's joining us on the broadcast. Pallavi, there were serious allegations that had been made by the actor. He had said he had to pay upwards of 6 lakhs to just try and get his film released in Hindi. What is good to see is the kind of swift action that has come in from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Help us understand what are the steps that they're going to take to try and investigate what really has happened.
You know, Vishal is one of the first ones to really come out and speak about this openly. But, you know, behind the closed doors, there have been many who actually have complained, especially the smaller producers and the regional cinema producers as well, that it's very difficult to get the desired certification. We know this very well, Ridhima, that most of the cinema producers would want a U or universal certification because an adult one brings down the viewers' numbers. And that is where often complaints have gone in that there has been bribes which have been exchanged, or they have to be buckling under pressure. If you remember recently during the time of Adi Purush, at that point of time the ministry sources had also conveyed that we need to have a little bit more of professionalism. Though at that point of time the charges were not of bribery, but the charges were definitely about whether there is a arbitrary certification which is issued out. Vishal has now brought in the money angle as well, which the ministry does not want to tolerate at all. It's a complete zero tolerance zone. So what has now been happening, a senior officer at the secretary level, we've been told, has been deputed to go to Mumbai, speak to the two officers concerned against whose name Vishal has taken, and also to speak to others in the CBFC to find out that whether these kind of allegations are correct. They're also going to be speaking to Vishal, the producer concerned, who's made these kind of allegations. A report is then going to be submitted back to the INB ministry, and then the next step will be taken in case any action needs to be taken. But I think the messaging which is going across from the INB ministry is very clear cut. No question of corruption being tolerated. The film certification organization will also have to work in a professional manner, and if these allegations are going to be found to be true, then of course heads would have to topple.
Yeah, as Pallavi is pointing out, a clear message that has been sent from the ministry that we're not going to have any sort of atmosphere where corruption still continues. Pallavi, as you were pointing out that a senior level officer has been deputed to Mumbai to conduct an inquiry today itself. He will try and investigate the case and then file a report. Is there a specific timeline as far as how soon that report needs to be filed as well?
Well, what ministry sources are telling us, Ridhima, is that we are not going to give a timeline, but it is ASAP, because what they want to do is they have to talk to a large number of people. First of all, the two people who have been mentioned by the producer in his tweet, in his soundbite, the two of them will be called. The Film Certification Bureau has made it very clear that the two of them are actually no longer a part of the CBFC, and therefore the organization cannot be held to ransom or should not be held accountable. Apart from this, the other top leadership of the film certification organization will also be questioned, and of course the producer who's made those allegations. So there could be some time which is taken, at least a fortnight, but the INB ministry, by sending it within 24 hours of that complaint having been made, goes on to show really, Ridhima, that as far as the ministry is concerned, they do not want to waste time and prompt action needs to be taken.
Pallavi, you know, a short while ago you were pointing out that even though Vishal becomes one of the first few actors to come out openly and level these charges, backdoors, murmurs like these had been on for a while. When Vishal had put this video on social media, many had questioned that if you knew about the corruption, why did you end up paying the money? And he said because there was so much at stake.
Exactly.
Help us understand what are the kind of murmurs that had been doing in the past as well.
See, the movie, of course, has been a hit in South. What he's talking about is when he wanted the movie to be translated and released in Hindi to capture a larger audience. And that is, you know, you have to go back as a matter of procedure for the film certification to get that certificate. He said that is at that point of time, I had already announced that this movie is going to be released. And obviously, you end up paying money. But paying bribes, if that's what he wants to call it, is equally culpable as much as demanding those kind of bribes. So he's also going to be held accountable for that. That question will certainly be asked also by the person who's being sent to Mumbai as to why did you not complain before giving the money? What's the point of complaining after you've paid that money? So, but I think the larger issue really over here now, Ridhima, is that whether this is a one-off thing, either there are more people who are willing to come out.
Pallavi, I really apologize for interrupting. I'll request you to stay on with us. We in fact have filmmaker Ashoke Pandit also now joining us. So good to have you with us here on CNN News 18. How do you see the kind of charges that have been leveled by the actors, speaking specifically of bribes being asked within members of the CBFC?
You see, we at IMPA and IFTDA, Director Association and the Producer Association, we have just written a letter to the INB Minister Anurag Thakur Sahab and Prasun Joshi, the Chairman of CBFC, to initiate a CBI inquiry into this. Now, having said that, the matter is very serious, is very sensitive for the filmmakers, for the producers, and to the film industry. Now, the two names which Vishal has given, to whom the money has been transferred, they are not employees of CBFC. They are outsiders. So it's very important for the investigating agencies to pick these two people up. Who are these people who have taken money from him? Whom have they transferred the money to from CBFC, if at all he has done that? So this is a matter which is a very serious matter, because if Vishal is saying it, there has to be something somewhere hidden, somewhere some seriousness about it. So it's very important for inquiry to be initiated at top level, and people, if at all found guilty in CBFC, they have to be punished. The punishment has to be issued, to the maximum. They should be suspended, and serious action should be taken against them. Because, for a long time, things had become very organized in CBFC.
Sure.
Prasun Joshi has done a good job. Everything is open, everything is digitized, everything is computerized, everything is done on a professional basis. So, if anybody is extorting money by delaying the screening of the film and by delaying the issuing of the certificate, which is now very rare because everything is systemized.
Sure.
The agents are not there now.
Yeah.
So, if at all any officer is playing mischief of, delaying the certificate and delaying the screening of the film, that person should be picked up. There's no two opinions on that.
Okay. Unfortunately, sir, we will have to leave that conversation there. Thanks for joining us here on CNN News 18. This is a story that we'll keep tracking very, very closely. For now, we do have to slip into a very short break.